Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back. We've got the East River Drive, aka Overdrive, by Electro-Harmonix. Now, this was only $99 at Long and McQuaid, in Canada, of course, so Canadian dollars. And I was looking for an overdrive pedal. Now, I really didn't need one when you think about it. My Blackstar amp has overdrive, right? So here's my clean tone, and here's the overdrive on the amp. Now that's kind of handy when you have that in an amp. The problem happens is when you have something like a rhythm machine going, right? Like a beat. Now you want to turn that overdrive pedal, that overdrive on the amp, and that's what happens. Now that's where the problem has, and that's where you're going to find the same problem. Now, a rhythm machine or a beat buddy hooked into your pedal chain must go at the end of the chain. Otherwise, yeah, you're going to get the same sort of thing going on, right? So, not a good plan. So, you're into your clean channel, and that's where you always plug your pedals to, is to your clean. And but that's fine if you don't have a beat buddy or a rhythm machine. Yeah, sure, flip over to the overdrive on your amp. Everything's cool. But then again, there are overdrives on amps that are too much sounding kind of like this. Now that was, of course, their Boss DS1. And I found that the SD1 overdrive pedal from Boss was almost about as brittle. And that's just too much when you want to play blues stuff. Which you can play clean, but I want that overdrive. And I wanted a subtle overdrive, but still giving me the ability to add a little bit more in there if I need it. And that's where the East River comes in. And that's where it fit the bill perfect. So let's see what it sounds like with everything at 12. Clean. Now, at 12 o'clock, that's a great setting for everything. And we can punch more to the front end of the amp, too, by just simply raising the volume up. But do we really need to? Well, it kind of depends on what you're after, right? I mean, this is only a 5-watt tube amp that we're playing on here, the Blackstar HT5. A separate head, separate cab. Anyway, so let's bring that overdrive up around 3. Back it off. Back it off some more. Now, I could have bought the blues driver pedal, but you know, it's kind of like, well, you know, I mean, it's a nice pedal, don't get me wrong. A little more than what I wanted to spend, though. And you can get a nice bluesy tone out of this thing, which is what I was after, right? Let's go full gain. does give you a bit of a distortion sound, but it's not a ripping distortion, right? It's not like ring, you know? It's still really nice and very clean sounding. You'll see if you did like open chords. It's still really nice. And that's a little on the crispy side, but let's pull that back. And of course we have the bonus of battery power. So if we want to just use batteries in this, we can, or we go into a power supply. So, and that's completely dry signal. And the guitar, of course, is the 2013 Epiphone SG Pro. And I've tried this on my Gibson Les Paul, my real Gibson, and it's just an amazing pedal. I'm really loving this thing. Even on my Telecaster, it sounds fantastic. Really loving the pedal a lot. Like I said, I tried out the SD one from Boss, and it's kind of like, yeah, I wouldn't mind having another Boss pedal, you know, in the pile, but you know what? It's the tone you're going after. That's what you got to figure out. Now, my advice too is if you want something that's a really nice tone to play a pedal through, use, if your store has it, something like an Orange 35 RT. That's the amp I play on all the time when I'm testing pedals, as long as they still have one in stock, that is. And I've also played on the Vox AC10 as well. Very, very nice amp too for testing out pedals with, because they both take pedals exceedingly well. And you'll find that the tone you get at home, of course, depends on the amp, is going to be very similar in a lot of those characteristics. And so you shouldn't have too much problem, and you shouldn't really be disappointed. But I found that, you know, like I've got my Boss Katana, 50 watt, I've got my Blackstar HT 5 watt here, plugged into both of those amps with this same pedal and with all my pedals, and they have a lot of similarities. Though the Boss is a bit bigger speaker and a little bit different kind of cabinet because it's an open cabinet, so a little bit more fuller, richer sound, but it's definitely got that, still that mildness to it. So if you're looking for that mildness of an overdrive without being too crazy, then I definitely would recommend the East River Drive. In fact, one of the guys at Long McQuaid has this one, and he says he really loves it. And I thought I'd give it for a spin, and you know what? I have to agree with him. It's a fantastic pedal. It's under $100 Canadian, you know, so I don't see how you can go wrong there. And that's with a totally dry signal. So if we add a bit of reverb into this, now, if you do want to run a Beat Buddy kind of machine or whatever through it, I've got one here. So to me, that sounds like absolutely killer. That's what I was after for a blues tone. So even the blues driver is not going to do me, you know. And definitely, you know, trying to turn down a distortion pedal even mild enough, right? That's close. GS1. Not quite, eh? It's just a little bit, you know, you're not gonna do it kind of thing, right? So yeah, definitely the East River Drive. Highly recommend checking one out. I easily give this thing a superb 4.5 out of 5. It is a fantastic pedal. It is well priced. The electronics in it are solid. It's just, if this is the kind of tone you're after, I mean, all day long, man, like, that's a great tone. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.